together that 4th of July day. That's when the land you're standing on became the U.S. of A. United we will stand, but divided we fall. One nation under God says it all. Men are created equal, words written in by hand. They all stand to fight when a cry for freedom rings. Freedom isn't free, it comes with a cost. One nation under God says it all. One nation under God says it all. This old world's changing, it's changing every day. For the land of the free and the home of the brave. Stand up everybody, stand proud and tall. One nation under God.
Good evening and welcome to IITW Radio. Hello, Jolene and Miss Debbie. It is, what's the date today? The 6th. Holy crap, 8 more days until Valentine's Day. Well, we got a bunch of stuff to go over tonight, so let's just jump right into it. I got my co-host, as always, on Tuesday nights, Mr. Sitting Bull. Greg Williams. How you doing, Greg?
Hello. I want you to know I'm identifying as an Indian today.
Yeah, I like that shirt. Let the audience see it.
I don't know if they can see it. Oh, look, hold on. There we go.
It's got the wolf.
It's my Indian channeling shirt. Elizabeth Warren gave it to me a long time ago when we were dating.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry to hear that. That had to be horrible.
Hey, while she was at University of Texas, she told me she was an Indian.
Oh, yeah. We even have...
Hey, law school. No, you don't lie to the bar. I think she made a law application to the Texas bar and said she was an American Indian. This is great because it just broke recently. And now she's saying that she didn't benefit after telling everybody she was an Indian for 30 years.
Hey,
so you see, I have an Indian poll here because I, too, am an Indian. They call me Sitting Bull. Okay? And this is my Indian walking stick.
I got to get you. I have to get you a medicine bag.
It may be a Seminole walking stick, but I don't know for sure.
Hello,
because,
Jessica.
Although I'm identifying as an Indian, I'm still not clear on my Indian heritage.
I guarantee you have more than Elizabeth Warren. Hey, we got this. You want to see this? We're going to put something up right now.
Go ahead.
It was just 1 second, and then we'll pull it up. Actually, we have a couple of them. We just got
Paul Revere song they used to sing about the Indians, Indian reservation.
Oh, Cherokee people.
Cherokee people.
Okay, here we got something we'll put up and show the audience.
I'm pro Cherokee. I want you to know I am pro Cherokee. I'm pro Indian. I'm pro American. But don't tell me you're an Indian if your name's Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, well, we have her actual thing here. We're going to put it up right now. Now, you see what we got? This is the state. This is the state bar of Texas, right on the bottom left-hand side. Race, American Indian. We have another one swollen up. We could show you.
Why did they redact the age?
That was on 4/18 of 86. I don't know, but she said she didn't benefit. She never claimed to be. Well, she never said. I thought that said.
Know she pulled Harvard. Harvard put her on as their own special star American Indian professor, so they could make their minority quotas at Harvard. You know, the politically correct Harvard that's given us the Unabomber and socialism run amok.
Well, shows her
and all that ridiculous socialist theory that's infected our higher education since the 70s. Apparently, they can't get enough of it there at Harvard or a lot of those so-called Ivy League schools that teach a lot of failed socialist political theory.
Her date of birth that didn't show it on there. I got to give a shout out to Desiree and who else we got? Just popping up on the screen there.
Hey,
Doug.
listen, there's more Indian stories about Pocahontas. There's more to come. Apparently, she did that same thing for about 30 times, but she never benefited from it.
Woo, 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 woo. I wonder if she's going to give the money back to Harvard. Since she supposedly... Hey, wait, now who are they going to get? Because that's her first Indian heritage woman to graduate.
That's another problem with Harvard. Those idiots at Harvard pay her like $300,000 a year to teach one course, 1 or 2 courses. That's the problem with higher education. I mean, ever since the student loans went crazy, why is higher education cost like 400 times what it should? You get less education and more debt. Doesn't make much sense to me.
Me neither. I love that stick. I've got to bring mine out here. Where's my walking stick?
It's authentic
It's
Indian.
in the house or in the
I'm
truck.
more authentic than Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah,
I'm authentic.
I'm damn sure more Indian than Elizabeth Warren.
I got me an Indian walking stick. I feel the spirit.
Yeah.
Osceola, we Seminoles, we got some Seminole spirit too, and he's unconquered.
Desiree wants to.
Osceola into capturing him. They couldn't conquer him on the battlefield.
I've got to answer a question real quick. Desiree wanted to know who you are. I'm not sure, Desiree. Now, usually
Sitting Bull tonight. I'm identifying as Sitting Bull. I'm an Indian.
He's one of my friends, Desiree. He's an attorney up out of Jacksonville. You'd never guess it. But he's an attorney, a highfalutin attorney up in downtown Jacksonville. And there you go. There's that studly picture of what you usually look like.
Hey, stay out of trouble. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
If you get in trouble, you can give me a call.
Usually he co-hosts a show with me on Tuesday nights. And but we had to move it to Wednesday night. Tonight we were supposed to have Helen Hayes on.
Union.
But Helen
State of Union, we can't have a show when the president's speaking the State of the Union. Oh, by the way, did you see the China contingent? Chairman Mao sent a bunch of women dressed in white.
Oh, yeah.
They were, I think, the socialists in the crowd. Why do all these women that are Democrats, why are they all pro-abortion and pro-socialism? I don't get that.
Desiree said you're nuts. You haven't met him in person. He's reserved when he's on the air, Desiree. But he'll be down here. He'll be down in a couple of weeks because I got a set of headphones for him. So I'll have you come and meet us for lunch. Desiree's a trip.
We love a good lunch there. Yeah.
Yeah, Desiree. I guess her aunt and uncle.
In Palatka.
Yeah. Let me see this one. I have Mama B gave me my own Indian stick that she had. I think she made it. But this is I got you beat on Indian walking sticks here. This is a ceremonial.
Oh, you got one with you?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Right here.
See that one.
Right here. Wait, let me back it up.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That looks like Fred Flintstone.
Yeah.
Now,
where's my other one at?
What?
My other one's inside. This one right here is a medicine man stick.
Wow.
But it's got a beak on it, so if you want to whack somebody in the head, but it's a piece of driftwood.
Yeah.
This thing is old as dirt.
A medicine man stick. Wow, I like it.
Yeah, I'd have
Don't
to.
let Elizabeth Warren see it.
Yeah.
Don't let that crazy white woman see your medicine stick. She might take it.
Yeah, she might. Give her. I like her cookbook. Mine's not all fancy like yours.
Yeah. How about that? How about the New York Senator, Gillibrand or whatever her name is?
Oh,
The socialist that's trying to get money from Wall Street to back her presidential campaign. I can't figure that out either.
she's Fruit Loops.
Why would people from Wall Street give money to a socialist? I don't know.
She's Fruit Loops. You know what? It would be funny. It would be fun to hang out with those guys and go party with them one night because they're all freaking nuts.
Well, I'll tell you what. Where is my? I don't know what to tell you other than the president gave a good speech last night. I thought.
Oh yeah.
I'll take the stick from
I'm trying to get my stick. Hang on. I got to get somebody to take this big stick. I can't.
I like that medicine man stick though. That's pretty cool.
Here's my other Indian stick. I'll keep this one with me tonight since you have yours.
There you go. There you go. You never know.
Yeah,
Indian sticks are good. Ask Elizabeth Warren.
This one has the eagle on it.
Hey, I'm gonna go get me a DNA test. Prove that I'm a damn the direct descendant of Sitting Bull. No, I'm really not. But hey, Osceola, now that's an Indian I can be proud of. That was a hell of an Indian.
Yeah.
Got to give the Seminole Nation, shout out. God bless you guys.
Yeah.
Keep it up at Hard Rock Cafe.
So you've been catching up on.
But I'd like to go.
You've been catching up on the news.
What news?
Did you get to watch the presidential State of the Union last night?
Great speech. He seemed to be the only reasonable person in the room. You had all those Chairman Mao people from China with the white clothes on. I couldn't figure that out. They said they were representatives, but I swore I thought Chairman Mao sent them there. I thought they were communists or something in that proletariat white outfit they all had on.
Here's my impression of Elizabeth Warren sitting behind Trump. The whole night.
No,
you ever see her?
Elizabeth Warren? That was Pelosi.
I mean, Nancy Pelosi, not Elizabeth Warren. Nancy Pelosi.
Well, she was looking at a crossword puzzle earlier.
Did you see her when she would clap? She put her hands up and clap like a penguin or a seal. Every time she did that, I went, "Ooh, ooh, ooh."
Hey, all I can tell you about Pelosi is she's not an Indian.
Yeah, I don't think she ever claimed to be, because she speak with forked tongue.
If she did, she'd be lying.
Yeah, it was so funny last night when Trump was up there talking, because when everybody else would be sitting down and she'd be standing there with her paper, like line 4 across.
Hey, this is even better. This is even better. It even gets richer. Let's talk about the great state of Virginia. What's up with all these crazy white people dressing like black people and dancing like Michael Jackson? I don't get it. I don't know what's going on. And then they got to say they're sorry or something. Apparently it's frowned on by the white political liberal elitists that want to run the country.
Well, the governor came out. Okay, they busted him. So the attorney general came out, which is next in line. And then apparently...
Lieutenant governor. Lieutenant governor first.
Well, yeah, lieutenant governor. He's next in line. He was saying he never did, sexually assault this girl, and it was with a blowjob.
Problem, but it's apparently worse.
Yeah, and so now the next one that steps up in line, he's got the same crap going as the governor with the whole blackface thing. So now if all three of these guys, here's what I love, all three of these guys get booted out. The next one that comes in is a Republican. And he's the one that stepped into the job by mistake.
You have to be almost scandal-free to be a Republican and survive because, the Democrats, the bar's pretty low.
Yeah, they're freaking out now. They're telling them, they're freaking out now. Well, it's really not that bad. But when Kavanaugh was in, they kept saying, well, we believe her. We believe her. And so the gal came out until she released her statement today about the blowjob she was giving him.
The hypocrisy. I know. The hypocrisy of the left is unbelievable.
Well, I think it's funny because Virginia, who voted for a Democratic governor, looks like, and the Democrats are all bailing on these guys. There's 3 of them.
Look, Virginia always wins. Those elections are always like within 1%. Half the states Republican, half the states Democrat, or whatever, close to it. And, they're always razor-tight elections. What makes the story even more interesting is that Republican, the guy that would be next in line after all 3 of them get booted, he won his election by that coin flip because it was tied.
Yeah, he defaulted. Desiree said she's got to come and hang out with us one night. Yeah, Desiree, if you want to come hang out on Tuesday night, you come in here and hang out in the studio.
Yeah, you don't know what you're missing.
You know where my studio's at. If you don't, tell me because I keep it hid.
Yeah, Desiree.
Yeah, Desiree's cool. I've known Desiree for a long time. Her aunt and uncle own Bass World. Uh-oh, Greg froze up. It looks like he's been hitting the peace pipe. Are you there, Greg? Can you hear me now? Oh, I think we lost Greg. Yeah, but Desiree, if you want to come hang out while we're waiting on him to get back on the air, we had to move tonight's show, which is supposed to be Helen Hayes, and she's telling us all how there's different programs. If you have a mobile home, hello Angie. If you have a mobile home that was damaged during Irma, you can actually, if it's over 5 years old and it's over $15,000 worth of damage, you can actually get that home replaced at no charge to you. The state will do it. The feds will do it. They'll come in and pull that sucker out and put a brand new one into it. They take care of all the permitting and everything. And also, if there's damage to brick and mortar, or if there's less than $15,000 worth of damage, they will come in and completely remodel your house. They'll put you up in a place. So that's on Monday night. She had a stomach flu or the flu today. So that's another nasty thing that's going around. Make sure you don't touch your face. Use hand sanitizers and don't get around me. I don't want that stuff. Then we have Friday night. Fort Gates. It says is if homes damaged through Matthew or Irma. So there are programs for Matthew, but Angie asked that question. If you have applied for FEMA and didn't get FEMA, or if you applied for FEMA and didn't get enough money to take care of your stuff, Ms. Hayes will actually help you get FEMA money. But this new program is called Rebuild Florida. Is it .org or .com? RebuildFlorida.com. You need to go there and register. And then once you register, we have a email set up for Miss Hayes. It's IITW Radio at Rebuild. Huh?
It's on the screen right now.
Oh, it's up on the screen right now. It's it's Indigo, Tango Whiskey, Radio Rebuild at gmail.com. And you can send her an email if you have questions on it, and she will walk you right through it. But it's IITW Radio Rebuild at gmail.com. So you might get, and this is only going to last, you've got till the 29th to get signed up. If you are not signed up by the 29th, this program goes away and you're not going to get any help. Okay, and I know Miss Helen's listening tonight, so Angie and a few other people send you their best, and they hope you feel better. On Friday night, we have Fort Gates. Well, before I jump to that, make sure on Monday night that you listen. Also for the elderly, or for anybody, especially if you have children and you don't have smoke detectors, they will come in. I believe it's the Red Cross that will come in, and we have all these pamphlets and flyers and everything else. They will come in and hook up smoke detectors. If you're hard of hearing or you have bad sinuses, they have ones that even vibrate on the end of the beds. Also, Miss Hayes is going to be going over a bunch of places where you can get help for different things like paying your electric bill. There's food banks on here. There's all kinds of stuff to help you pay your rent. These are all places in Putnam County that I did not know about. Some of them are actually outside of Putnam County. And also another thing that I want to touch on is the Literacy Council. My ex-wife used to teach for the Literacy Council, and I was surprised at how many of our elderly people do not know how to read. Years ago, when instead of going to school, when this country was, before internet, before anything like that, and there was a lot of farming and people just didn't, they had to work. Unlike today, and living off the government, they had to work. So did we ever figure out how to get Greg back?
Nope.
Might have to call Greg for me. And anyhow, a lot of people didn't learn how to read. I remember my ex-wife was helping this elderly black gentleman. He was 80-something years old, and all he wanted to do was read his kids a bedtime story. So after working with him, I think for 2 or 3 months, there you go, he was able to read his kid, and it would break your heart to see an elderly person like this that couldn't read, and all he wanted to do was read his grandkids a bedtime story. Well, he got to do that, and he did that for a number of years, and he finally passed away. but the guy became a freaking bookworm. I mean, that's all he did was read. And that is the one great thing about the Literacy Council. But they have so many things on here. There's soup kitchens. That's Mr. Yance. Hello, Michelle. Is that Michelle or Mitchell? Mitchell. But they have all kinds of Mr. Yance out there at the soup kitchen in Interlochen. There's all kinds of places you guys and gals can get help. There's, for clothing, everything. If you need clothing and you have kids or women, I don't have very many men clothes left, but I do have a barn full of clothing. If you have kids that need clothing, or if you're a female and you need clothes for jobs, I'm not sure what all I have left, but I'm going to be thinning out the thing so I can restock it. If your children need clothes, you don't have to go up and spend money at Goodwill or some of these other places or even Walmart. If you want to come by or get in touch with me, send me a private message. I'm going to set up one day a month, maybe twice a month, on a Saturday or Sunday where you guys and gals can come down and get like 4 or 5 outfits. I have shoes, all kinds of stuff, and even have some kitchen items and things like that. But I need to get this big barn I've got cleaned out, because part of it I'm going to make for a canned goods for our volunteer firefighters. But you guys are going to want to listen Monday night, because there's some great programs that I didn't even know about existed here. And Miss Hayes is willing to help you guys out with all this stuff. Friday night, Fort Gates Ferry is a big passion of mine. Fort Gates Ferry is a barge that crosses the St. Johns River over in, I guess it's considered Crescent City, Willaca, Georgetown. It's all the same place there. But it crosses it from the east bank to the west bank on the St. Johns River. This thing is at risk of being lost forever. It's one of the old, and I believe it's the oldest barge still in existence in Florida. And there's Paul Newman has filmed commercials there. It just, as people have gotten married on it, it's been used to set up estuaries for bringing in fish to South Putman and all over the place. It's done airplane crashes. It's helped pull them up. It's rescued people from the other side of the bank on Ocala to get them to safety. It's carried fire trucks over there. We should not lose this. This thing has been around since 1780. The barge itself, I believe, was before the Civil War. It went through the Civil War, through the Second Seminole Indian Wars, and we're going to lose it. If we don't get together and back this thing, we are going to lose it for good.
Are you there, Travis?
Okay, I can hear Greg somewhere.
Yeah, can you hear me, Travis?
I can hear you. What happened to your system there?
I don't know. I got cut off. I'm just looking at a little red, a little circle going around on my screen. I think we got some technical difficulties there.
Okay, we'll keep trying.
I think it's on your end.
That's because,
to be honest, I don't know.
Not on my end. I'm still on live and on the air. I can still see my face.
Well, then how can you knock me off like that?
I didn't. Elizabeth Warren got
I don't
you.
know. I don't know. I mean, like I say, I was just cut off. I mean, and it's just going around and around. I wonder if there's something I need to do on my end. Where's your tech guy?
He can't do anything on your end. Stop your computer and restart it again.
Okay, well, I mean, I just got a circle going around.
You're going to have to stop your computer and restart it again.
All right.
What internet service do you have?
Sorry about your technical difficulties. Okay. All right, so you keep going. If I miss you, then we'll pick it up next week.
What internet? Oh, hell no, you ain't getting off this easy. You're on the air now.
I don't see. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn the computer off again. Here we go.
Jolie says she's got to go for another test. She's at the ER, and Clay hopefully be back soon. I hope you feel better, Jolene. I hope it's nothing serious. Well, anytime you're in the ER, I guess it's serious.
Who's Clyde?
Clyde. Bonnie?
Yeah, I don't know who Clyde is. This is Clyde B.O.T. Today's 7:51.
I have no idea.
The bandwidth patrol asked me to disconnect you to save bandwidth. Okay, that's what happened. Somebody named Clyde tried to get us booted. We got that? It appears you've been by yourself in this call for more than 5 minutes, the bandwidth patrol asked me to disconnect you to say bandwidth. That stuff doesn't grow on trees. Only you can see this.
What does he need to do?
Clyde,
Stop it and restart it?
B-O-T.
Turn off his computer.
Turn off your computer and put it back on.
That's weird. All right, well, you guys got to figure that out. Okay.
That's what I just told him.
Turn it off.
He's not listening.
Let me come back, and I'll be right back. I don't know.
Okay, we'll get Greg back here on a second. We're trying to log him back in. Hang on, I'll put him back on. Which one is it?
The fourth one.
Greg, you still there?
Shut down.
Quit telling your passcodes. What you're giving out is your information, your passcodes.
All right, we'll try again. Hopefully I'll pop up real quick, and we'll go from there, okay? And you keep on doing your thing.
That's because you started making fun of me.
What's the story? What's the problem with that barge in terms of is it in bad condition or something? They need if it's in bad condition, they could sink it and buy a new one.
Well, no, the new one's about $200,000, and it's a historical thing. We're trying to keep the old barge and get it fixed. As a matter of fact, I went up and talked to.
It's like an old battleship. Can they fix it?
Yeah, it's was it Palaca Shipyard I talked to?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, it's a shipping company up in Palaca, and I'm hoping that they're going to patch it. And if they do it, we're going to put a plaque down by the river with the names on it, because this thing can be around for another 200 years. You know, but
bingo.
Hopefully we can get it done. But it's kind of sticky. Friday night, I've got some information that I'm going to put out that stuff has been supposedly done on it for a while. There's all kinds of permits, but nobody has done anything about it. So, and people have blatantly lied to me about what they're going to, what they're doing to it and everything else.
Well, it seems like people would want to keep it, to be honest, is what it seems to me like. That's kind of a historical, that's as big as the Isaiah Park down there.
Yeah. Well, that thing, I mean, tons of people have got married on it. Hell, your wife might even want to divorce you on it. You should be.
Oh, my goodness.
You should be coming up on it now.
Right, hold on.
Oh, it's St. John's.
Coming back
St. John's Shipbuilders.
This technology on Discord. I don't know what the problem with Discord was today, and who's this bottleneck guy?
Yeah, St. John's Shipbuilding is the ones I talked to the other day. They seem like really nice people over there. There you go.
That's good. That's good.
Nope. You're already.
Hey, have you pulled any more boats out of the river?
No, I don't do that anymore. No more boat salvaging for me. I'm too old.
Mm-hmm. Well, they took the fun out of it, didn't they?
We got a lot of people. I've got a lady on every night or every day she has to drive. It's her 100 miles round trip. That is actually more than that, just to see her mom. When the thing is open, she can run her dad or mom and dad over to the hospital if they have to go, and it's right across the river, so it only takes her a few minutes to get there. Versus if anything happens to them, she has to drive all the way around the frickin' county just to get back there. There you are.
Hey, you're back on me. Hang up.
Yep, there you are. They're Sitting Bull. How?
Wow.
Like this.
Wow. Wow. Oh, wow. Hey, I had time to go get lunch or dinner.
Anyhow, yeah, that's something Friday night. But I'm going to talk to you about maybe getting involved in it as an attorney for the fort over there.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, it seems to me a little good PR would. I mean, who would be against it? Who could possibly be against moving the ferry?
Some of our leaders, believe it or not. I've been lied to 5 or 6 different times in one phone call.
Lie's a strong word. Maybe they just didn't have all the facts. Maybe they forgot something.
I'm not an attorney. I don't try to polish a turd.
Yeah, oh God. Okay. Well, let's hope that you can convince them to save it. Because it seems like if you make the good argument, people love historical artifacts.
Oh yeah.
And if they want to shut it down, then let's find a new home for it.
Yep.
And set it right there on the river, right in front of maybe one of those restaurants over there.
Well, you'll have to listen Friday night because you're not going to believe the BS that I've heard. And I have emails and everything. I filed under the Freedom of Information Act. I have got more stuff on this. You're not going to believe it. I'll have to get with you this week sometime and show you some 300 pages of documents that I have where it was supposed to be done and it didn't get done. And the person, his secretary, that's supposed to be handling everything, have signatures on documents left and right. But anyways, back to this thing.
There's always going to be an accounting. If someone was supposed to do something and they didn't do it, then they should be held accountable.
Yeah. Hey, back to this to Trump's speech, because it's not going to last very long. What did you think of Chuck Schumer sitting there with a little smirk on his face?
Chuck Schumer is a scary, scary fellow. I thought I saw him in that Underworld series with that little Kate Blanchard or whoever it was in Underworld. Wasn't he like a vampire in that show?
Sure it wasn't Little Nicky?
I don't know. That guy Schumer, man, I don't trust.
And there he goes again. Every time he talks about Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, he's off the air. Okay. If we could just freeze his face like that. Oh, God, he looks like Chuck Schumer last night. Oh, my God. Okay, get his face down. He's an attorney. He might try to sue me. Good God. Okay, so anyways, I guess I'll finish this up. Chuck Schumer last night looked like he was sucking on a fruity turd the whole time, like he enjoyed it. And then I just don't get the Democrats. Some on this wall stuff and everything, they voted for it. She said that, if you can hear me, Greg, she said that stick you're holding must be cursed. That's because he's not an actual Indian. I am. I have my stick. I'm still on the air unless I get bumped off. But anyways, I just don't get the Democrats on this side. And like you guys and gals know, I'm not a Republican and I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent. And I go for what I see. And the thing is that everything the Democrats were voting for before, now they don't want it. They for years and years and years, they put money into a wall that never got built. Every 4 years, every 2 years, it was budgeted back in, or actually every year, billions and billions of dollars, 54 billion, 45 billion. It never got built. You need a freaking wall. Last night, they looked like a bunch of sourpusses sitting there. And it's stupid. They all agree. And Trump had some good points last night. On the borders. And I have to agree with the man. I'm against illegal immigration. I am for legal immigration. If you want to come into this country, do it right. Don't just walk in here and try to take jobs and try to take Medicaid, Medicare, and stuff from people that actually have worked for it all their lives. I met a guy the other day. What was his name? Gene. The guy has cancer, lung problems, all kinds of stuff. Worked all of his life, and now he can't get Medicaid. He can't get his medications. He can't even get Social Security. And this is a guy that's about my age, and he's paid into it all of his life. Now he's sucking hind tit while all these people sitting coming across the border are getting medical right then. They're getting food, everything else. And this poor bastard's sitting over here and not getting squat for it. So, and that's just wrong. So no matter how you look at it, we need to take care of our own first before we wind up trying to help anybody else out. It's not our problem that their government spent all their money. Yes, I feel bad for these people. I am for legal immigration. People have been doing it for hundreds of years now. There is a process you can go through. But these people, and they were saying, well, the Democrats have been saying, well, there's no such thing as human trafficking. Yes, there is. They traffic little girls and women all the time. They're snatching people's kids out of their homes, away from them, and down there they don't have the laws like we do. And it's very sad. Hello, Lee. Oh, damn. Have we got a picture of Lee? Oh, yes, we do. This is my friend Lee. Desiree, you guys are so lucky. I just thought that, okay, Angie wrote, I just thought that many of the expressions, actions, or lack thereof, etc. last night were uncalled for, disrespectful, and just downright rude. We We are supposed to support our leader regardless of their opinions, missions, etc. We do not need to unite as a country, or we do need to unite as a country and not as a divided base on our political parties. I agree 100%. Oh, he's good. He's finding Lee's picture. But, you know, with the Democrats sitting there and these younger Democrats, these socialists and stuff, it will not work. Of course, Ocasio-Cortez was sitting there saying, and the other one that has the towel wrapped around her head was saying, well, we take all the money, 90% from the billionaires. Well, it's going to cost $443 trillion just to do Medicaid for everybody or Medicare for everybody. If you took, and there's 400 billionaires in the United States, if you took all their money, it wouldn't be enough to cover 1 year. If you took 90%, there's my friend Lee. That's a good looking picture. Where we got one of her Dracula looking picture. But if you took all the money from away from the billionaires, it wouldn't even be enough to cover it for 6 months. Medicare for all is not going to work. What's going to happen is just like in Venezuela. When you take all the money you can from all the people that are on the higher levels, which they already pay 40-something% of the total gross income tax that comes in, or the taxes that go in, only 3% is paid by middle class. When that money is gone, there you go, Lee. Look how pretty she is. I dug it. I told you need to come in the studio. You're supposed to be one of my characters one night. You need to get your butt in here. Wait, I get one of Desiree, Lee, and some of my other friends. I'm going to start popping them up there too. Now, Lee's a good gal. She helps me with a lot of benefits and everything else. And when people can't get their medications, she knows exactly what steps they can go through to help people get stuff from like Renexa and get in onto different programs that are available to help people not only get some of their prescription costs written off, but also help them get free prescriptions. Yeah, Desiree, you're next. I have to look at my files. I'm sure I've got some of you down at Bass World. But the whole thing about the socialist thing, once all the money is taken from people, and this is exactly what happened in Venezuela and why they're down there rioting and throwing rocks right now. They don't even have any freaking toilet paper in that country. 1 kilo or a half cup of rice down there, people are getting murdered over. It screws up the whole system. It doesn't work. I heard talk with a girl today, and she was saying, well, if we take them, they don't need that much money. First of all, just like with Schultz, he's the owner of Starbucks. He busted his ass. He came from the Bronx. Now, these people with this money, yes, they have a lot of money, and yes, they live wealthy. The one thing about this nation is you have the capability to go out and earn that money if you have the ideas, if you want it bad enough. But you start taking it from the richer class, and you think that you're going to filter it down into poor class, here's what's going to happen. The rich no longer are going to reinvest their money, and they keep it reinvested and reinvested and reinvested, and that's how they make a buttload of money. But you start taking that money away from them, and you start taking it away from people that are trying to make something out of themselves. Number one, so what's going to happen, they're only going to make so much, and then they're going to stop. That money's never going to get in reinvested into the system anymore. They're not going to try anymore. Neither would I. If I'm not going to make $100,000 but $100,000 in a year, I'm not going to try to make $3 million. That pot is going to end. And there's so many lazy ass people sitting out there that live off the government that could get things done, but they just don't do it because they've lived off entitlements for so long, and you really can't blame them. In the state of New York, they make on average a person on welfare $27 an hour. California, $32 an hour. Florida, $19 an hour. Who the hell's going to go work when they're making $19 an hour? Now, I realize that there's a lot of people that can't make that money and do need help. Trust me, I know that. There's a lot of single moms out there that bust their ass. You know, you got a couple kids, you can't, and because of a deadbeat dad, and the same with deadbeat moms, you can't go out and earn that money because it costs you too much in daycare. I understand that. There's people with health problems. That's not the ones I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that come and suck off the illegal immigrants that come here. There is a process to do. People have been doing it for hundreds of years. Do it that way. Get vetted. Because if not, you're going to wind up with criminals, diseases, all that crap. I'm going to back off of that now. I liked what Trump had to say last night about the little girl with cancer, you know, and trying to get cancer ended. And he's won $500 million for children's cancer research. You know, if people don't agree with me, you can write on there. I don't care. It's not going to hurt my feelings, and I'm not going to bash you or tear you. If you're a guest in my house, I'm not going to cuss you out. You know, everybody has an opinion. They're like an asshole, a butthole. I got to watch my mouth. There's some people saying I got a potty mouth that they haven't heard me in real life. But you have your own opinion. It doesn't make me right or you wrong. You like Chevy? I like Ford. Everybody likes Jeep, you know. But the one thing that I did like is the cancer cure is the first president that I've ever heard. And Angie said, yes, we have to follow all the processes, and they should have to do it. Lee wrote, I'm quitting my job. I have social anxiety disorder. Pay me $19 an hour to sit and chill. Hell yeah, they could give you free legal weed, all kinds of stuff. But I like the part that he said about the cancer kids. And that's something that this country and every president before him could have done. These little children that are on cancer, we had a little boy that passed away in Putnam County not long ago, Robbie. And the sweetest little kid you guys would ever meet. I mean, just a beautiful soul. And he had to pass away. There isn't enough research done on it. Big pharmaceutical companies, you want to talk about taking some people's monies from them? And that's exactly what Trump has done. Prescription costs have come down since he's been in office. And I'm not backing Trump 100% here. Don't get me wrong. For you left-wingers and right-wingers, don't get too pissed off at me because I bash to the left as far as I do the right. The people on the right have been in office. They had 4 years to get it done, or 2 years. They didn't get it done. They haven't passed bills that they said they would. Healthcare reform. Democrats come in with Obamacare and completely screwed the system up. Now you got people like Ocasio-Cortez and Kamala Harris that are coming in and talking about Medicare and Medicaid for all. It will not work. It can't work. There's not that much money in God's green earth to make it work. And you take 150 million people that are on insurance right now from businesses and take them out of the loop. Now you're paying for that. It won't work. $47 trillion a year will not work. I don't care what you do. It just will not work. There's not enough money. Even if you take it from all the billionaires, it will not work. But I like the $50 million that he's going to give to cancer kids if they'll vote it in. I also like the prescription drugs have come down, and hopefully they're going to do it and get rid of it. Now, the one thing about that I did like also is that President Trump last night honored the 3 veterans that were in Normandy. And he had an elderly gentleman on there who happened to be 2 of them. One when they had gone in to Dock Tile, and the kid was looking, or the young guy was looking through a peephole, knot hole as they called it, on the train. They were getting ready to get barbecued, getting thrown in the ovens. And that soldier was there. He had just stormed the beaches of Normandy a month or a week or a couple of weeks before that. And he was there and was one of the ones that rescued this little kid who is now a grown man. And it was the gentleman's 81st birthday last night. And the one thing that I thought was cool, that both parties came together and they sang this gentleman happy birthday. Now, I didn't like it because the Democrats sat on their asses all night and looked like prunes. Elizabeth Warren was one of the worst ones. Nancy Pelosi didn't even have a freaking clue as to what was going on, except for up there chewing her cud all night. But the Republicans have done the same thing when a Democrat president is in there. So Desiree said, my son's girlfriend works, and she is about to have a baby in a few weeks, and she was denied insurance because she makes $1 too much to fall into the percentage to get insurance. Yep. That's the problem that's wrong with our system. Obamacare did that. The mandate, for you people that are raising hell about Obamacare, you realize you would be paying $4,000 a year premium under the silver plan? But I don't want to get off on that. That's for another night. When he talked about, Trump was talking last night about the illegals, and you got the Democrats on the other side saying no walls, no borders, no fences, no nothing. We want to use modern technology. Let me tell you what, if you have a drone there, it is not going to stop anybody from running across the border, period. And once their feet hit here, we have to take care of them. I think we should send, keep the Dreamers here and the DACA kids here. But anybody else from this point on, if they come, arrest them, send their butts back. Don't give them any more sovereignty. Don't help them out. There's too many AIDS, too much disease, too much bugs, all kinds of stuff coming into this country right now. We do not need any more. Polio is a big one. I also like what he said about wiping out AIDS. AIDS has come a long ways from the time back in the 80s. And I was playing in bands at the time. Back then when I should have been a man whore and sleeping with a bunch of different women playing the drums, I didn't do it because we were scared to death back then because they had a new disease that came out and they knew it was called AIDS. They didn't know if they got it from kissing, from sex, or whatever. They just knew that when you had sex, your chances of dying were pretty damn good, and they were. I've had quite a few friends that died from AIDS. But what did Desiree say? Yep, she's absolutely right. Yeah, but these blankety blank blanks can come over and get everything. And she's pretty much right. The other thing that is pissing me off is these younger millennials in Congress are talking about doing away with fossil fuels. Let me tell you young people something. First of all, if you did away with fossil fuels, which, by the way, going and only keeping natural gas is a fossil fuel. Second, what are you going to do? Wait, okay, say you take all the cars and get rid of them. Okay, I get that. Everybody's driving around electric cars. What are you going to do with airplane travel? You're not going to find any batteries to do that. Unless you go back to blimps, airplanes are going to stop. How are you going to mow your yard? Okay, well, I'll give it to you that there are battery things. Ryobi, DeWalt, they all have, lawnmowers. I got 6 acres here. How am I going to mow that without a tractor? There's no electric tractor right now, and it wouldn't take the wear and tear on the cuts that I have to make. Also, what are you going to do with the trucking industry? If the trucking industry shuts down right now, if all the truckers went on strike, I've seen this in my lifetime, we're screwed. So there's not going to be any big electric trucks running around. That's the majority of our shipping in this country. What about airlines? But the main thing is, what about the farmers and the food that we eat in this country? Without fossil fuels and without these tractors and stuff running, how in the hell are they going to plow the fields? How are they going to plow the fields? How are you going to get groceries on your table? The ships that bring stuff from other countries over here, or the shipping that we use to transport our goods overseas, what's going to happen? Those are diesel engines. Yeah, you can run them off atomic, but we don't have the money in the world to make everything electric and atomic. These windmills that you're talking about, there goes your heat up north. These windmills do not produce enough electric to run it. And then when they do it, Edward said the U.S. oil independence now don't need any other countries. He's exactly right. Even Trump pointed that out last night. We are the number one producing company in the world for energy now. That's with fossil fuels, with gases, all kinds of stuff. Angela wrote, sometimes technology is a downfall. Sometimes you have to just go back to the basics. How many times have we heard of technology, hacking, virus, etc.? In terms of technology, I think a wall that often seems as primitive to many works. My property is surrounded by a 6-foot chain link fence. At one time, I had an electric surveillance system. You know what continues to work? The fence. The electronic system failed. You're exactly right. I have on my house, and I have it also on the studio, I have a full surveillance system. A kid come onto my property one day, and stole my phone. Now, my cell phone is just like yours. They're around $1,000, you know, for any Android or Apple. You're looking at $500 to $1,000. If somebody steals that from you, you're screwed. You know, you've got to go and buy another one. Well, I caught the kid on it. 15-year-old kid came up and then blatantly lied to me, and I had to get his parents. Then he throws the SIM card away. There's important numbers on my phone, governors, senators, congressmen. Throws it away. So I had to go and buy a new phone. But surveillance does not stop it. It still costs me a ton of money. There's no drone or anything, unless it has a rocket launcher on it, that's going to stop it. There is a legal way, and I believe in the legal way, but let's do it legal. You know? If fences work, they work in Jerusalem. Okay? 99.99% has stopped coming over the wall. And where was it talking about last when I was looking at it today? El Paso. El Paso was one of the most dangerous places in the United States to live. Now it's one of the safest. You know why? They put up a freaking wall through there. It has kept people from coming in there. Let's see. Fossil fuels include coal, oil, natural gas, and are currently the world's primitive. What?
That's ours.
Yeah, I know. I was reading it. Some of the people listen on YouTube, they can't see it. They put up fossil fuels include coal, oil, and natural gas, are currently the world's primary energy source, formed from organic material. Over the course of millions of years, fossil fuels have fueled U.S. and global economy development over the past century. And that's exactly right. Since I was a kid, fuels have cleaned up. Used to be, you had these big power plants. I remember in North Alabama, they ran off of, they didn't have the clean air systems that we have now. And you couldn't even breathe. It was yellow smoke. And let's see, Angela wrote, yes, and now that we are oil dependent, I love the gas prices. I know. I don't think anybody's going to bitch right now. I just paid $2.74 for diesel today. I was cheering. Desiree said, I know that's right. But, you know, as long as they keep fighting, and the Democrats and Republicans keep fighting and making it about a power struggle, this country is never going to get to where it needs to be. There has to be compromise. There has to be a freaking wall or some type of, I would just hook up an extension cord and shock anybody that came over. I mean, hell, you go from North Korea to South Korea, you have to go through landmines. East Germany, West Germany, they shoot your ass. All over. And Mexico is even lining up. They've got their armies, they've got their police force and everything at the south border now and up in Tijuana trying to stop people. Because it has become a big burden. Tijuana right now is filled with hypodermic needles, rapes, garbage everywhere. Now they've got lice, disease, all kinds of stuff. Tijuana, I used to go to Tijuana just to go down there and party when I was younger. It's not like that anymore. And now the Mexican people are starting to fight with the Guatemalans and it's a big freaking mess. The people that are throwing rocks are not friendly. The coyotes that are trying to shove little kids over here to use them to get into the country in MS-13. Last night, Trump had a family on there that was an 81-year-old grandmother and her husband got assassinated by an illegal that came across the border. They had the great-granddaughter and the daughter and the mother all in there. That is sad to think about it, that their lives were freaking ended because of an illegal. Okay, I'm going to get off this stuff tonight. We'll pick it up more on that. I got to give a shout out to one of the guys I took, one of my friends down to the Cancer Research Center today, Dr. Newton. I told him I'd give him a shout out tonight. Dr. Newton is one of the coolest doctors I have ever met. When you go into the Orlando Cancer Research Center and you see these little kids and adults that they help out, it is one of the coolest things you'll ever see in your life. And what made me think of that was that little girl that they had on there last night that raised $40,000, and then some of the Democrats didn't even clap. Elizabeth Warren and you guys, Kamala Harris, all you other ones that sat there with smirk looks on your faces, I hope somebody bitch slaps you. This is bullcrap. But Dr. Newton is one of the coolest doctors. He's got a band that's going to be in Mount Dora. Here's his There's his picture right there. Herbert Bruce Newton. One of the coolest doctors you'll ever meet. He's actually retired, but he still stayed in the medical industry to help people out. Now, this is a good thing about what I was talking about the socialism thing. Here's a doctor that has made apparently a lot of money. And I talked to him today, and I said, you know, you've got to have one of the most depressing jobs in the world. He goes, yeah, but it has its rewards as well. Because most of the patients that come through there, the cancer center, and this guy has written books. He's famous all over the world, one of the top in the world. He takes the money that he's made in his life now, and this doctor he goes around and he helps other people. He uses the money that he made to continually help people out. That's not socialism. It's not charity. This man has a great heart. But anyways, his band is called Doc's Rock.
No.
Oh, no, wait. What's his band called?
Stone Lotus. It's right there.
What is it? Oh, Stone Lotus. They're going to be at the Mad Cow Theater in Orlando, Florida on May 18th. I will be there. We're going to cover it live. But he does neurofibromatosis, which one of my friends has that. And she has over 200 tumors in her body. You guys can go back on YouTube and check it out. And some almost 20 tumors in her brain. And Dr. Newton works with her. And he was the first one that helped diagnose her when everybody else told her she was crazy. He pulled it up and he gave me a copy of her MRIs and stuff. He said, anybody ever tells you that you don't have it? Because some people that look like they shouldn't be sick, it's just like AIDS. You can't tell a person that has AIDS just by looking at them when they first get it. Yeah, maybe later on. But when they first get it, you can't really tell. Somebody has problems, you can't tell. But this doctor, he goes out of his way to help everybody. And I hope you guys can make it to the Mad Cow Theater down in Orlando on May 18th and listen to him. He's also going to be in Mount Dora. Do we have that one to put up? Yeah, we have that one to put up. But I listened to his band today. The guy kicks butt. Their lead singer is a female, and she sounds just like Steve Perry. And for you younger people that don't know who that is, look it up. He's with Journey. But she can wail it out. She sounds just like, I thought it was Steve Perry. Don't Stop Believing when she was singing that today. And Doc is mean on a bass guitar. But I want to thank him for everything that man does for cancer kids and to help people out with cancer. The guy's phenomenal. Friday night, don't forget, we have about Fort Gates Ferry on. We have, we're going to get into deep on that, and you guys are going to be really surprised at what I show you in investigation that my team has uncovered. Monday night, Miss Helen Hayes, she's going to be talking to you guys and gals about how you can get your home replaced or get it repaired if you have damage from Irma, and I believe some even from Matthew. Smoke detectors, how to get things set up. You guys, if you need to go to a good place and camp out, hang out, make sure you go down to Desiree's aunt and uncle's place at Bass World down in Georgetown. See, you got a free plug, Desiree. You didn't have to pay me for advertising, but you will. What else have we got? Oh, I got to give my shout-outs. Oh, hell, I can't forget that. Mama B, you know I love you. Miss Debbie, I need a lasagna. Desiree, you can come in here next Tuesday night if you want and be on the air with me and Greg. If we can keep him on the air. Hell, if we don't, we'll kick him off and you and I'll have a good show. Let's see. Okay, and then Friday night, our shout-outs, I'll give one to you, Desiree, and to your aunt and uncle. But to, who else do we have? My nephew and nieces and my brother who just went through cancer surgery. Terry, I hope you make it. Hang in there, buddy. They did some major surgery on him yesterday, and he only has a 20% chance to live. But he's fighting it hard, and he's still doing good. So I know you're going to pull through it, little brother, because you're strong as all. To my best friend, Tammy, over there, who's my right arm. She does the Putman Way. To Annette and Audrey, hello. I will see you guys in a bit. Let's see, Mr. Steve, and I think that's about it. That's all it's going to get it tonight. You guys can check us out on IITW Radio on Facebook or The Putman Way on Facebook. Also on YouTube or IITWradio.com. Remember to support your local businesses, your veterans, and people that are that fight for us every day, your local police force, especially your volunteer firefighters. These guys and gals, I love them to death. You know how I support them and how we love them here at the Putman Way and IITW Radio. Edward said, first-time listener, not sure if you ever talk about how dangerous some of these roads are, especially 100. I'm part of the company that does the traffic control for the accidents. I know you reach a lot of people just wondering if you did anything like that. Yes, we do. As a matter of fact, Edward, if you want to come in, I'm always out there when you guys are doing the traffic controls, and I see the crazy-ass people that try to run you guys and gals over. So if you want to come in one night, PM me, and we can sit down and talk about it. I know you guys do great work over there, and you guys don't get paid enough for what you do in the middle of the night or anything else. Okay, guys and gals, I've got to get out of here. We will see you back here on Friday night with What's Pissing Me Off, and I'm sure you're going to love this show because they're going to get in deep of Fort Gates and what's going on about it and try to keep this thing from shutting down. To Mr. Sitting Bull, thank you for coming on tonight, even though you got kicked off. One of them was right to say you got an unlucky stick. We will see you guys Friday night, 2 nights from now. We'll be here at 7 or 7:30 whenever we get the bugs worked out. God willing, the creek don't rise and the government don't get me first, but I'm out of here. Check out the colors thing out is Austin Neal with Brothers in Arms. It's a great song, great patriot. And check out your local advertisers that screen across the thing. And thank you guys for spending a little bit of our time letting us come in your hearts and your homes and your minds and mess you up. I'm out.
Believe me or not, it's been all around the world. It's been back and forth to Georgia, Carolina a couple times. But there's that one trip that takes me back in time. On a plane ride to a foreign land, a journey had begun to a different time with my own man, watching them old dogs run, telling stories and comparing battle scars. Well, they're always among us, brothers in arms. Back to those nights of sitting there, writing letters home, to picking that old 6-string just to keep from feeling alone. Seen some tough times, some crying eyes, but never quit on me. Been through hell and back, even brought us back to where our hearts need to be. On a plane ride to a foreign land, a journey had begun. A different time with my old man, watching them old dogs run, telling stories and comparing battle scars. And they're always among us, brothers in arms. On a plane ride to a foreign land, a journey had begun to a different time with my old man, watching them old dogs run, telling stories and comparing battle scars. Well, they're always among us, brothers in